Hey everyone, Joe here from ActionX. Welcome to What's in the Tube, or welcome back if this is your ninth Season 4 episode review for The Rookie. I apologize if this Christmas-themed episode was, currently not being able to be visual because I have to go buy a new battery pack for my camera, and it's a pretty busy week. Let's just say that. So last week included. So it's gonna be a while. This is our last regular episode review for the year. We have our Doctor Who reviews coming out after this comes out. So while that's gonna be that was all pre-recorded content, this is the last mainline 2021 episode review. So, and it's also a blast again for it to be The Rookie, wrapping up 2021. We started the year with a rookie review, and we're ending the year with a rookie review. It's been a blast this season so far. I've been very much enjoying it, and as we've reached this first half of the season, because it's been 9 episodes, again, I have no idea how long season 4 is going to go. If it's going to be 14 again, or we're going to go back to the usual 20, or if it's in between, who knows? We're going to evaluate all of that when we come back from the break, which won't be that long. It's in 3 weeks. We'll be back on January 2nd, so it won't be that long of a wait to come back. It's going to be a little bit hectic with our schedules, but we're gonna figure things out in the next couple of weeks. We're gonna figure all that out. But for this week on The Rookie, despite it being the first Christmas themed backdrop, I think this finally does take place in Christmas after the very long year we had. Because the thing is that with the first 3 seasons, it took over the entire year. This was the first season where it's operating on a regular, yearly basis, that sort of thing, which has been, it's been interesting to say the least. But with this week, we don't really get to see much of a festive year. This was mainly the culmination of mostly everything we've been kind of driving towards in the first half, because in reality, I'm still curious how they're going to handle the second half, because they did a really decent job of wrapping up everything that we had to this week, and it was great to get some payoff to a lot of things. Not entirely the payoffs I would like to see, but it's something that I'm fine with. I'm really fine with, and definitely the ending kind of made me realize, whoa. More unexpected surprises from The Rookie. And obviously, it's not the biggest mid-season finale that we've gotten. It's definitely a more personal, shocking one for Nolan, as always, because, it's Nolan's life is never perfect. It's he gets so close and then he gets backdropped. It's always something's in between here, and we're gonna figure it all out. We're gonna figure it all out. But let's go for the Butcher recap and talk about this week's episode of The Rookie. So, I forgot what the cold open. Oh no, I do remember. So, they're John and Chen are stopping over a jewelry heist. They're doing the usual rest, getting everything kind of situated. Nolan's looking at some rings, and Chen obviously jumps to the conclusion, which is confirmed that Nolan, confirmed by Nolan as well, that he's looking for a ring. He's gonna propose to his girlfriend. It's even though it's been 3-4 months since they started dating. He feels comfortable that this is the one. This is different. This is unique for him, and he thinks this could go somewhere. But as the joke, the ring he picks out, the thief's oh, I wouldn't have. I purposely left that there because that's worth nothing. And also, I don't know if Nolan just afforded a house. I don't know how the hell his police officer salary is going to afford an engagement ring on top of that. So. Let that be the case. So it's been a few weeks for them. She's been staying with Nolan since her accident, and she's ready to start to go back to her apartment, kind of continue on with her life, solely. But she did appreciate Nolan's, assistance the past few weeks. It was nice for them to share some time together and share the warmth and love for each other. And but however, before Nolan is able to propose to him, he does want his son, who is a very important part of his life still, to meet her. Well, to meet her virtually, since he's in Japan for work. So. He's not able to be in LA in town for them, so the FaceTiming is the only way to do so. And but I initially felt it was just purposeful, she just doesn't want to meet the son yet, because that's when it's gonna get a little bit too serious for them. So she's I gotta go to work. It's my first time in a few weeks. I gotta hit the sack and start making some money, Jack. But so they missed the original call. The polls are also open for the big what was it, the police representative elections that finally opened up. So of course Nolan's like anxious to get the ball rolling, kind of like get let's get everything going, let's get the votes in, that sort of thing. Tamara is doing a social. She's doing a report for class for university, and she originally wanted to shadow Gray this week, but Gray's been pretty busy with work, even though Gray's only been very much at a handful. He hasn't really gotten his own real story arc yet this season, so to speak. And so he decides to put her on with Smithy, who is really kind of concerned with his run in the polls, concerning the fact no one actually has a platform, and he has basically shit. So basically, he's not letting Tamara go on the street, but he's going to let Tamara help him make some cool, inspirational, last-minute campaign videos to help him boost some cred before the big votes. But all hands are mostly on this week for the big Elijah takedown, since Lopez has had enough. She needs to take Elijah down. It needs to be over. So they're gonna send in Wesley as a CI to try and get some information on something to kind of incriminate him. But of course, obviously, since Wesley's law career is at stake as well, this is gonna be a pretty big. It's a pretty big thing for him to deal with, and it's gonna be a pretty risky move if I say so myself. So it's Nolan. It's Harper on deck as well. Obviously Lopez and Wesley. New Rook is currently somewhere off. He's not around this week. I'm assuming he's just doing his rookie training with someone else. I'm assuming, or maybe it was his day off. Who knows? Bradford, Chen, and Bradford's sister are currently doing the renovation project to kind of get the house ready back over for selling order for new owners, so they can sell their childhood home and move on with their lives, since their dad is pretty much up in rehab, up in a nursing home somewhere, just getting the help he needs. But while they start, and also I'm just saying that again, they're really strategically placing Chen in the middle of these. It's I know they said before, Chen and Bradford are never meant to be together, but after this episode, I'm like, yeah, they're either gonna be brothers and sisters, or they're gonna fuck. It's literally I'm sorry, I cannot deny this anymore. And yes, of course, you can be a female best friend and just not have any romantic feelings for the dude. I understand that, but it's they have been paving the walls and paving the lines so many times that it's been kind of difficult to kind of see are they lying? Are they telling the truth? I don't really know. But they start demoing a wall, and Bradford finds a gun in the wall, and he starts kind of jumping to the conclusion that what did his dad do, considering the fact it was hidden in a wall, and he's just very concerned. So they do a ballistic search on it. It turns out the only bullets, the only thing this gun could be connected to is a murder back about 20 years ago, involving their neighbor who was murdered during a supposed home invasion, and they just never really solved who ended up killing him. So Bradford just assumes that his dad killed him, because his dad never really liked him, and that they need to find a way to get this in and solve the case right here and right now. So they call in the widow, and also Bradford does reveal that his dad and her had a secret affair during many years, without his mother's or his the kid's knowledge. Well, he knew, but he just couldn't say. He didn't want to say anything at the time. So they bring in the widow and the widow's kind of I don't want to talk about it. This isn't for me. This is I don't want to talk about this. Obviously she's hiding something, and for us, we initially think that she's just covering for Bradford's dad, and that sort of thing. Bradford even confronts her hey, look, I knew about the affair. I know about that. You don't have to hide it from me. And she's like, I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. And he goes to visit his dad, and also his dad, played by Gamby from Black Lightning. Yeah, and also he played another deadbeat dad on Grey's Anatomy. So it's this guy, Gamby's actor is just he's always playing deadbeat dads. I really don't know why. It's just it's a sad thing for him, to be honest with you. He's not admitting to anything. He's just saying okay, yeah, so what if I killed him? You gonna arrest me? You gonna arrest your dad? Come on, do it. Even as an old sick man, he still's got the balls to go up to his son and say, do it, you coward, do it. Show me you're a man. And obviously Bradford doesn't, since he doesn't have any real evidence against him. So he leaves. He tries to file the report. Chen comes over and tells him, hey, look, you've been so preoccupied with the fact that you think your dad is the killer, but I called in the widow again to kind of give them her side of the story like more clearly, and it turned out that she was the one who killed her husband because her husband was an abuser. He beat her a lot, and one day he just went too far, and she pulled a gun out of him, and she went to Bradford's dad for advice to kind of cover up the fact, and they successfully did, and they managed to get away scot-free. But so Bradford goes back to see his dad again, and his dad just assumes that, oh, you give me a last tequila shot, this is it, you're gonna put me away, great, take me. But no, Bradford admits that, like, no, she confessed, she's arrested, she's gonna get charged, you're good. But of course, obviously, the thing that was cataclysmic, it was also a necessary thing for Bradford to have in a conversation, is the fact that Bradford's dad admits that, oh, good, that guy was a piece of shit anyway. Who abuses someone they love, and then Bradford's like, well, you did the same shit for me, well, to me. So like, you're not really one to talk, and they have an argument there. But Bradford pulls away. Chen is there, and again, like, it's not more like, yeah, Chen is a good partner. She was a good partner. So she's gonna be there for Bradford. Like, there's so much crossing the lines there. Even with that hug, it's like, I just really don't know. I really don't know. Like, it could take it either or. Like, we'll see how that goes in the end. Whether or not season 4 just ends with that, who knows? So I went back on the big case, the big matter here. Wesley sent in for a usual, the usual, like, here's an update on your clients. Here's what's going on. Here's what I'm able to do, and at first, everything's fine. Everything seems to be fine. Elijah's underwiser. Then a local arrest is happening across from them. It's not really phasing Wesley that much, and Elijah starts to notice. And some things are going wrong, and in terms of his escape. And Elijah's like, wait a minute, something's wrong here. Like, something's up, and he finds the secret wiretap that the police placed on Wesley, and he just frightens them, like, hey, you know what? Because of what you did, you just cost your boy his entire law career. It's over. It's done. You're done for. And it gets a little scary because, like, this guy is very dangerous. You don't know what he's going to do next. And, Wesley has been pulled in harm's way many, many times before. Thankfully, Gray steps in the right time, pulls Wesley away, is not able to arrest Elijah because they just don't have any sort of evidence against him. But Gray does say, if you touch Wesley, then we will take you down. And I was like, I don't care. The only thing that's ruined today is his law career. That's all you've done today. So they regroup back at the LAPD. They're just trying to figure out what the next move is. And at first they get a little bit stumped because they just don't know what to do. Meanwhile, Nolan takes the opportunity to try and organize a FaceTime session with with his girlfriend and Henry. But Henry's connection from Japan is kind of spotty, so their FaceTime is kind of a little bit choppy. So that doesn't go as well as planned. So, he just sucks it up there because in fact, she has to go off on another emergency. So, nothing more he could do on that front. Where do we continue? Eventually they were reviewing the audio footage they were managed to get, and they do find out that Elijah did mention a food bank. So this could be a key to figure out, this could be it on how to get him. This could be it. So that night they head over to a local food bank, and they find a few armed individuals. They take them down. They find the cocaine or the drugs inside of a freaking pressurizing, which is a smart thing. I wouldn't be surprised if someone else has already done it already, or someone's about to do it after this episode comes out. But it's not surprising. You literally hide a lot of things in a lot of things. You just really don't know. Also, what's going on behind the scenes is that continuing on last week's thread that Harper's ex-husband is going to move away to San Jose or somewhere. She's moving away with his new fiance, and they want to take their daughter with them. And Lila's like, nah. Harper's like, no, this is not happening. Like, I am not going. I did not fight to be my daughter's life just for her to be taken away, and her being being able to only see her these certain time periods. So she tries to have a conversation, like a very neutral conversation with him. It doesn't work because her solution was, let Lila stay during the school year, and then you can have her the entire summer, no complaints, and we can visit her whenever we want, and then we'll try to organize it there. But however, he's like, well, you're working a job that is very inconsistent in hours. So basically, you're gonna let Lila be taken care of a nanny half the school year. When if she stays with me and my new fiance, she can have two parents that are always going to be home for her, that are always going to be raising her. And honestly, this is kind of like a very it's a conversation piece that I can relate to because when my parents were getting divorced and obviously the custody arrangement and thankfully my mom didn't do anything that like we're gonna move away to another state just to get away from my father. That never was the plan. They were just like the plan was let's stay as close as possible so that my dad could still drive over or just walk over and just see us. He never stayed over our apartment at the time because like obviously there were just so many like fresh things and just so many issues with the divorce and everything. So I was very thankful that it happened. But it's just it's still even like maybe half a mile away. Even that speaking, like who is going to be there more often for the child? Who is I think more importantly for me personally, like hopefully I have not met the one yet. I am not with someone right now. I'm not. But I'm very hopeful that the person I do end up being with is going to be someone that I am never going to divorce, and B, someone who is going to agree with me on a lot of things when it comes to raising a child. But if let's just say in the hypothetical nature that there is a divorce, I hope there isn't a divorce, but just sometimes that things happens. You really just don't know how life's going to go. My opinion would be on the matter is you choose the parent who's going to be there more often for the child. And yes, I know career-wise, that is a shitty thing to say. I know just like, how life's operate, that is but at the end of the day, like, you want to raise your child, in a nice, nurturing, loving environment. There is a difference if you're not home to be with your child and, it's selfish a little bit. And, both Lila and her ex-husband have very genuine point. Harper is her mother. She wants to be in her life. She already lost a couple years of her life when she went undercover. She already put her through a tough custody battle. She doesn't want her to go through that again. And she just wants to be there for her. But at the same time, he's her dad. Like he has a right to be in her life. And he does have a point. Like, yeah, Lila should be in a very nice, nurturing home with parents that are going to be consistently there for her. At least one of them, compared to Harper, who will probably have late nights and will probably not be home to see her daughter. It really does suck. And that's the nature of the beast, sadly. And, they're just like, there's just no middle compromise here, especially when you're talking about like, they're moving like a very adjacent state away, but it's still like, it's not like an easy drive. Like, it's a lot of hours to drive or take a bus or a train or anything. And, it just sucks. Like, it really does suck. And, that's what they always say, like, make sure the partner you're going to be with before you have children, because you never want to put them in that situation where that they're gonna have those moments, and they're gonna have that difficult torn between them. It does really suck when that happens, but it's unavoidable in my opinion. So they leave it there and they just go back to like, okay, we'll just let the lawyers hash it out later on, don't worry about it. So after the big arrest, they pinpoint Elijah's head location and they get a warrant for his arrest. They start to head out there, but they get a call from the police that, hey, there's shots being fired in that area, like just keep advised. And Grace worried that SWAT moved in too early, but like no, SWAT hasn't even got there yet. So we don't know what's going on. So they get there and it's a bloodbath. Like, all the henchmen are gone. Elijah's hiding in a freaking metal closet. Like Elijah's so like sophisticated. And he's so like, powerful in his voice, and he's literally hiding in a fucking metal closet. What can you do? What can you do on that front? So he says that like, who was La Fiagra's right-hand woman was the one who came by. She shut up the whole place because she found out that it was Elijah who gave them the information on where Lopez's location was back in the season 4 premiere. And she's back in town, and they're just assuming that she's here for Lopez and the kids. So like, it's the season 4 premiere all over again. So we're gonna find this woman. We're gonna get Lopez into safety. We're gonna figure out how do we stop this woman, and how do we get them. But of course, before they do that, Grace announces that for anyone who worked this incredibly long shift for this matter, go home, get some rest. You earn the rest. But before that happens, Tamara shows up with the finished Smithy's campaign video where it's basically all the B-roll footage that admits Smithy had no platform at all to beat Nolan, and that Nolan is the better choice, and that everyone should vote for Nolan, and he's just doing this because he wants to play dirty and keep his role. So, yeah, Smithy's basically lost the election. This destroyed his entire platform already. The little platform he had left. So it's great news for Nolan, but not really great for everyone else. But it's still a victory for Team Nolan over here. It still is. Harper's leaving for home, but apparently at some point between her conversation with him and then before all this happened, she made a little bit of a call to someone. I'm not sure if I don't know who the call was to. I completely forgot, but apparently, her ex-husband's new fiance had a very sketchy past, or had a very a past, let's say, that she never told him, and they got into an argument. They broke off the engagement. They're not moving away. Lila's upset, and it's like Harper got what she wants, but at the same time, like, this wasn't, like, it really does suck. It really does suck, and this is exactly why you never really want to have children unless you're guaranteed that this is going to last a while. And that's just my opinion on the matter. Your team, you got to stick together. You got to like work through it. So now Harper's kind of like painted as the bad guy here, as she just destroyed her ex-husband's new relationship and all that. So that kind of really sucks for them. Yeah. So after that, I want to say, Bradford does head back to his family home and resumes cleaning with his sister. He does apologize for like being distant from her in the past recent years, and because of everything that happened. But now, hopefully, once they walk out of this house, it's a new beginning for them. They can forget about the past and they kind of move forward as brother and sister. And that was a nice, sweet gesture he made. Where else did we? Was there something? I know am I missing something? No, not yet. So Nolan heads back home. Turns out his girlfriend and Henry have already been talking for hours on end, and they seem to be a good, like, stepson, stepmother, right? Like they're doing pretty well already. Like this is definitely a very good step for their relationship, and you can kind of tell, like, yeah, you're gonna propose to her, aren't you? And Nolan's like, well, not now, but like soon. And Henry's like, yeah, go for it. You deserve it. You definitely earned this. And, he also gives her the idea, like, why don't you have a destination wedding? Come to Japan. And I'm like, bet. If the rookie goes to Japan for a wedding, I'm like, let's go. Let's do this. I can't believe my knuckles are actually making these waveforms, so I do apologize. I'll stop it. But before we get to the big shocker moment, Lopez and Wesley are hiding out in their house, kind of like, lockdown mode, trying to like you just get away from everything. But Lopez does receive a call from La Fiegra's right-hand woman, and she's injured from her gunfight, but she said she did what she had to do. Elijah is taken down, his operation's taken down, and she's satisfied. She's gonna head back to Guatemala, resume the cartel empire from there, and she has no beef with Lopez at all. It's like, if you don't come after me, I'm done. You'll never hear from me again. And I'm like, good. How the fuck is Lopez gonna get involved in this? Let's just be honest here. There's absolutely no way you're going to leave this going. There's absolutely no way. There really isn't. How that turns out to be in the second half, I really don't know. It's going to paint things very interesting when we come back next year. Nolan takes his girlfriend to a nice, lovely bistro somewhere with outdoor dining, apparently, which is okay. LA's pretty hot. I can allow it. And Nolan's going to get ready. Like he drops the "I love you," which she does reciprocate. And he's getting there. He's getting to the line, and some random dude shows it. I'm like, are we supposed to know you or something? Like, I don't know. Like this whole like, hey, how you doing? It's like, oh, you're out. It's like, wait, was this the guy that we arrested a couple episodes ago? Is he already out? And he's like, and he asks Nolan, who are you? He's like, oh, I'm her boyfriend. Like, and he's like, oh, I'm her husband. I'm thinking to myself, is this gonna be some other like, oh, you're in jail, so I'm gonna assume we're divorced type ordeal? Like, and that turns out to be the case. I'm like, okay, oh my god, I'm just, why? But yeah, that ends up this winter finale for the rookie, and then once again, no one's thrown in the parquet. The first time he just knew it was just an issue with Chen. The second time, he wasn't ready to have another kid. The third time, the estranged husband comes back into picture. Now this time, she's already married. How will Nolan get out of this? We'll find out next year when we come back with the Rookie Season 4 episode reviews. But for now, I enjoyed this episode. I kind of knew the Elijah stuff wasn't going to last the whole season. I kind of felt a little let down that Elijah basically got taken out, not because he, was defeated or everything. It was because another woman already took his entire henchman down. He was thrown into a metal closet like a fucking rag doll. And I'm just thinking to myself, that was okay. It was funny, but I'm like, you were selling Elijah to be such this sinister force to be reckoned with, and this was the way you wrap him up. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's not the worst thing in the world, but I'm just saying, like, I would have preferred something else. I'm just being honest there. But how we're giving Harper a new battle for her to fight, giving Bradford some closure on his life definitely was well needed. Tamara Finnegan trying to destroy Smithy's campaign was hilarious. And Nolan can never catch a break with his romantic life. He can never get a break. It sucks. It really sucks for him. Well, hopefully there's some good news coming out of the way next year. But for me, for now, I'm giving this episode 1.5 thumbs up. Still a really good winter finale. I can't wait for when we come back next year with all new episodes. But that's going to do it for me. So let me know in the comments below, what did you think of this winter finale for The Rookie? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Let me know. Are you going to miss Elijah? And I think that's going to do it for me tonight, everyone. So if you're unaware, this has been What's in the Tube from ActionX, reviewing every episode in the 4th season of The Rookie. If you want to know what we're doing normally, What's in the Tube, besides our Rookie episode reviews, we're currently doing nothing. Walker's on break. Nancy Drew's on break. We'll be back early next year for the return of all of our show reviews, so stay tuned until then. Again, I don't know how long Rookie's going to go for this season, so when we come back, we'll figure it out together. I mean, it's coming back pretty early, so I'm very hopeful we're going to get the full 20 again, considering the fact we got like so many episodes in this first half, but we'll see how that goes. We'll see. I would not be denying another 11 episodes of The Rookie, but at the same time, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how that all shakes up to be. I don't think there's anything else I have to say about it. Again, this is the last regular episode review for the year. For What's in the Tube here on ActionX. We have our every Doctor Who series reviewed part 2 starting up again this week. Stay tuned for our return date on that for the series 5 review. It's been a blast to get back into the booth with George, recording more Doctor Who content for y'all. So stay tuned for our return very soon. You're going to hear an announcement on it very soon on the proper date, because we prematurely announced it back in late November, but we only had one review up ready to go, but like we weren't quite ready yet, so we needed more time. So stay tuned for that. When we do come back, we have the 300 episode of What's in the Tube coming soon. So yeah, stay tuned. It's a lot of cool stuff coming for What's in the Tube. And of course, obviously, when you come back as well, we have the Slate of the Channel coming out for ActionX pretty soon as well, as soon as we start the new year. So there's a lot of content being rolled out there. So yeah, it's gonna be a big one, guys. So stay tuned for that. But again, if you're unaware, this has been What's in the Tube from ActionX. Please subscribe to us on youtube.com/ActionX videos. Ring that bell for notification when our next episode review is live. Please also like, favorite, share this review if you want to, but it helps us get it out there to other members of the Rookie Nation who have yet to discover us. Helps us beat up that YouTube algorithm that hates me ever so much in life, and as well as sharing us for free here on the interweb. Please also, what was the other thing? Yeah, follow us on social media to stay up to date with any sort of updates we might have for the channel. But until then, I'll see y'all next year for when we return for more season 4 episode reviews. We'll be back on January 3rd. But until then, enjoy your holidays, whether that's Christmas, whether that's Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, all the holidays. Enjoy your holiday break. Enjoy the New Year's. Drink some eggnog on me. I'm gonna miss you all. It's gonna be 3 weeks away. We'll be back in 3 weeks, so it's not too terribly long. But I got a lot on my plate in these next 3 weeks. There's a lot of stuff coming out for the channel when we come back for 2022. So stay tuned to then. But until then, stay safe out there. Be good to each other. And as always, peace out.